What's going on, my YouTube family? Hope everybody's doing okay. I'm that wood guy, and thank the Lord, me and Dad are still here today, and I'm still here to make this video to explain a few things, because I think it's important to sit down and now sit face to face a little bit instead of always you guys just looking at me. Smooth, clean cut video, all edited, everything looking like a final finale, which is just completely opposite of what's really going on out here. So yesterday afternoon, and was getting ready to head out and drop some more dead ash, but for some reason this time Dad just felt like he wanted to come out and he wanted to join me for these 3 trees, just because one of them was particularly real tricky, and I wasn't going to record these ones because I just wanted to get out and do my thing. And one of them was kind of literally out in the creek, and then the other 2 were what I thought was simple. And the one that I thought was going to be the most tricky ended up working, and that one went down fine. But on the 3rd tree, things started to kind of go south. And honestly, this tree right here was a tree that almost took me and Dad's life yesterday. And I don't mean to get too in detail, but my friends, it was a gnarly situation, and it's time to explain how dangerous these things are. And when I'm out here making a video, everything looks so easygoing and clean cut, and everything's just simple, and it's just completely from the truth of the real things that are going on out here and the dangers that are really going on out here. I want to broadcast things the wrong way, so I think it's important to sit down with this type of video and show you the close call that me and Dad had, and some of the mistakes that are honestly made on both parties. And from learning with all my experience from the years of cutting trees, it's just another one of them examples of how unpredictable these things are and how dangerous it is. You type it in Google, the world's most deadliest job, and it is logging. It is not easy. It's completely dangerous. There are so many obstacles and obstructions and things that can go wrong. It's just not even funny, and I couldn't sit here in one video and list them all. But the fact of the matter is that it's not a joke, and you can't gear yourself up enough. You cannot put enough protection on for yourself and your body to give you that best chance ever. And if you dig back even in my videos a year ago, I lacked on that, guys. I didn't have chaps, I didn't have a helmet, I just wore maybe some eye protection and some hearing, and that was it. And it's completely a wrong kind of broadcast to share to youth and or even any other person that is experienced, that knows the dangers of these things, where I was, gonna admit, kind of more blind to it. But guys, now if you've seen in the recent videos, I really haven't been out there without a set of chaps on, and without a helmet on, without my eyes, without my ears, heavy boots, and gloves. And that still only protects you so much. And yesterday, honestly, if it wasn't for this helmet right here, I don't know if I'd be making this video, because this limb that you guys are sitting on just came smack dab, and me and Dad were the flies, and that limb was the swatter, if you want to put it for an example. It was a completely hairy situation that the both of us ended up having to peel off the limb that you guys are sitting on off of each other, because it slammed us down to the ground so hard. And I mean, so hard that it really ripped on my shoulder, and it smacked into my head with enough force to knock the helmet right off of my head and break my glasses, as you guys seen. And again, I can't stress enough of the dangers of these kinds of things. You can't be too safe, guys. You sit there and observe it 3, 4, 8 more times. Give you that best chance, for your safety. First, right off the bat, being a hollow tree, it is dangerous. You guys know, anybody who's been cutting these kind of trees knows how dangerous they are, because there's not much holding wood. And honestly, that wasn't even the part that got us. You go further up the tree, and as like a typical ash, it starts to crown out to the top and have all sorts of these bad boys, all the top limbs and leads. So the tree going down through, let's call it the canopy of this dense, overgrown box elder, vines, and mess. This is an old elm stump, which I was not concerned dropping the stem of this main tree through. And that ash tree there, I even wasn't concerned feeling that it was far enough away and plenty enough room to be able to safely put this tree in between. Is the problem of this side limb sticking out the side of this main trunk, coming down through the top of this canopy, ended up breaking off with such force. And then this ash tree projecting this back and slamming down this whole limb, breaking off and completely coming back in the direction that we are standing. And with such force to both pin both me and my father right down to the ground. And if it wasn't for my helmet, honestly, guys, I don't think I'd be making this video, because it slammed me right in the head. And just before it happened, I was able to grab Dad and almost grapple over top of him before we both went down to the ground, and the limb came down over top of me. First of all, completely stupid situation to not take this ash tree out first. And then completely stupid situation, the fact that, you know, we were only standing probably about 20 feet away from the back of the main side of the trunk, and also in line with the trunk. That's a complete no-no. It should be going off to the side. It's no good to stand in line. Never stand in line, because you're in the drop zone, in the projectile zone. And if you even see it, you've got one tree laying 90 degrees this way, and then the limb laid completely back straight the other direction, about, 40, 50 feet. And when you're standing at this main bell, this was completely the safety zone. And the both of us even stepped back about 20 feet, which was not nearly enough. And in that zone is complete danger. That's a complete mistake. A complete mistake. Now, I've been out here, you guys been watching through the videos, dropping a tremendous amount of these dead ash trees in this timber. And Dad just hasn't been out here in a while, to be honest with you. He's been busy with other things. And I do the best to be safe out here alone, but it's another example of you should always have someone out there with you. But also, it's another example with when you're not out here for an extended period of time, you start to get a little lax, and kind of like, Dad was in a deer in the headlights, stepping back only 20 feet, watching the tree go down, and it kind of made me lax then, stepping back just to where he was, watching the tree go down as well, where, any other time and all these other times before, I am getting way out of there. You guys will watch me maybe 1 to 2 steps in the camera, and then I'm way out. I'm running like a deer, and I'm continuing to run. I'll barely ever watch the tree, maybe a little bit, but, when I'm completely continuing to move, and I'll watch to make, while I'm moving to see the obstructions. The problem here is we had this dense little shrub and this canopy here that was blocking a lot of things from our visual view of watching the main tree come down, and then the branch off to the right side that caught that dead ash tree sticking way up. That just blindsided us, both of us, and slammed us both to the ground like a fly swatter. Guys, I'm sharing this video. Why? Because I want to explain, that it's extremely dangerous out here, and it's not a joke at all. You put your gear on, you put your protection on to give you all that best safety. And when you're cutting trees down, everything is possible, all dangers, and it's no joke. You shouldn't be messing around if you don't know what you're doing. And even when you think you know what you're doing, it's an example of how dangerous it still is, and how anything can throw you off guard. Anything is possible, and it's no joke out here. A lot of my videos will look, they look clean and edited with dropping these trees. And hey, even some of them maybe not look so clean and edited. Nonetheless, I don't really share the dangers. And this was honestly the first close call I've ever had like that, where it slammed me, literally both me and Dad, to the ground, and knocked my helmet off, broke my glasses, and I'm still here the day after to be able to share this video, thankfully. I feel I'm orchestrating this enough. the dangers of this kind of stuff, guys, and how this isn't a joke out here, and to, you know, observe and listen to others with experience. And I was even blind to that. You know, a year ago on my YouTube, people shouting out to me saying, you know, Wood Guy, put on a helmet, Wood Guy, put on chaps. And, you know, thank you guys for continuing to do that. And, you know, once again, you can't be too safe out in this kind of element. And it goes to show you how it'll throw you off in any which direction. When you're out here cutting timber with a chainsaw and you're, you know, you're alone, that's just, you know, you're setting yourself up for an extreme risk just to begin with. When you're out here with double people, now you got two bodies that, you know, you have to make sure to get into a safe direction. Be careful out there, my friends, because that one almost got me. And, you know, they can almost get you too if you're not paying attention. It's no joke out here when you're cutting trees. Trees aren't a joke to mess with. And if you have any sort of hesitation whatsoever, just don't do it at all. Give yourself the right protection. Put on your freaking helmet. Put on your chaps. On a freaking armor suit if you have to. You can't give yourself enough protection. And I'm going to admit that I was lax with that. Don't think you're cool out there trying to prove any points with any sort of less protection. Put it on and get out there and pay attention. I know not a lot of action in this video, my friends, but I wanted to share that with you guys today because the importance of this stuff is not, I can't express it enough. So be careful, my friends. Be safe out there. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm thankful to be able to share another video with you, my friends. And it just hones in all my respect for the dangers of out here logging and cutting trees down. And I'm sure there's many people that could share the same story, that they've had close calls. You know, if you guys want to drop down in the comments your close calls, you're more than welcome to. This is my first real close call. I've had tiny little minor things happen before. Little tiny, you know, light sticks with leaves on them come back, you know, towards you, where it gives you that inclination of, you know, you're in that 100-foot circle of just danger. And it's even beyond that 100 feet when you are dealing with swinging trees down through a canopy, because you have a catapult reaction on the opposite end of the direction you're felling the tree. You have to be careful, you have to pay attention, and you can't be too safe. So put on your gear, pay attention to what you're doing, and if you have any hesitation at all, don't do it at all. All right? So be careful out there, my friends, and listen to the people with experience. I love you guys. Catch you guys on the next one. See you later, everybody. Peace. Not trying to play hero.